Some widely scattered showers making their way through Santa Barbara, primarily though, and this has occurred for most of the day, Ventura County, from the beaches in Oxnard all the way through Santa Paula, the Ojai Valley, and now up into the Grapevine along the I-5 corridor, Fraser Park, the Tejon Pass. Looking to the Inland Empire, they're taking a bit of a break for the time being, but the moisture coming out of Orange County up over the Santa Anas currently and out towards the Coachella Valley. They're finally starting to see a little bit of some light precipitation, but look at what is staying offshore for the time being. This is a southerly flow, and this big fetch of energy is going to hit Southern California through the night tonight, and it's going to cause a great deal of instability and extreme weather conditions for much of the day tomorrow on Saturday. And because of that, well, for the time being, we've got a flood watch until tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. And I say for the time being because these flood watches could turn into flash flood warnings. And along the coastal communities, very dangerous conditions. We've got a chance for some lightning strikes that could occur. Maybe some water spouts as well, and of course high surf out there, and maybe some minor coastal flooding. So dangerous conditions. You do not want to be near the sand over the next 24 and 48 hours. In terms of rain here in Southern California, it will once again be heavy. We're going to talk a little bit more about the timing, rainfall rates, and much more when I return with your full forecast in just a couple of minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Kai. People who live in Pacific Palisades are bracing for another night of rain. The storm has already prompted evacuation warnings for the Palisades fire burn zone and for some road closures.
KTLA's Jillian Smuckler continues our live team storm coverage from the Pacific Palisades. Jillian.
Hi, Sam and John. Yeah, we've been out here all day, and we really have heard a mixture from people living in this hillside. Some are really concerned about the storm coming in later tonight, and others, you know, after what they went through in January, it's hard to have anything faze them. But I think everybody's on the same page. They're all holding their breath, just hoping it doesn't end up bad. Take a look behind me, though. This is the main thing that's really causing concern. You could see this hillside. This is a burn scar. This was one of the many areas that was burned in the Palisades fire. And so when you connect both the burn scar with heavy rain, which is what we're expecting to see, it's expected to become a mudslide. For families in the Pacific Palisades, this is a familiar kind of anxiety.
I'm nervous for some people's houses, obviously. It's going to suck if a fire comes through and tears most people, then you know, mudslides take out the rest, obviously.
The storm set to move through tonight could be strong enough to trigger mud and debris flows, especially in neighborhoods beneath recent burn scars. But not everyone is concerned.
I'm not worried about the rain at all. After what we've been through, this is pretty little stuff. These are little things.
But for those who lost their homes in the Palisades fire, they're not only worried about their neighbors' homes, but also things they left behind on their lots.
It's already gone. I have my boat on my house now. I like to build boats and stuff, so I have my boat there. If that gets washed away, that'll be a bummer. But I'm nervous, but there's not many people living there, and what dirt's going to wash into more dirt.
The Palisades is no stranger to mudslides. They've seen roads blocked, driveways swallowed, hillsides that simply gave out after a single heavy burst of rain. That's why city crews are trying to get ahead. They're setting up K-rails to help guide any flowing mud away from people's homes. In the meantime, visitors are having to swap their boat trip for an escape room.
This storm really did ruin our plans.
And surfers say they aren't letting this soggy weather get in their way.
Yeah, when it's raining and crazy, that's when people go surfing. That's when the fun begins.
That's when the fun begins? No, that's when the danger begins. We definitely don't suggest doing that, but a lot of people obviously trying to make light of the situation. You know, a lot of these people living in the Pacific Palisades, specifically the ones up in the hills, the homes are beautiful, but they have to deal with this risk every single day. These are the zones that city crews are worried about. So, of course, again, as we just mentioned, there's sandbags, there's barriers. They're doing everything they can to try and minimize the impact and prevent those mudslides from happening. But for now, reporting live in Pacific Palisades, Jillian Smuckler, KTLA 5 News.
Jillian, John and I say you have a beautiful view before that rain comes in. Gorgeous live shot. And fears are growing that this storm could unleash destructive mud flow and debris for hillside neighborhoods in the Eaton fire burn area.
KTLA's Sarah Welch joins us live from Sierra Madre, where residents are watching and waiting for the worst of the storm to roll in. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, John and Sam, good afternoon. You know, anytime there's any significant rain, residents up here are on high alert. We're here at Cannon and Sturtevant. This is in Sierra Madre, where you can see right now, so far, so good. Just a little bit of rain off and on, but nothing here people tell us that they are overly concerned about. But we know this was an area hit hard by mud flows earlier this year, and right now you can see some of the water coming down the wash. There's no mud, there's no debris, but again, that could change with the most significant bout of rain expected tonight into the early part of the weekend. Let's take a look from Sky 5 above in the Sierra Madre Dam Basin. For the last several months, LA County has been working to remove dirt and debris to keep things clear in preparation for the potential of mud flows and again to prevent mudslides and any flooding. This area got hit hard in storms earlier this year coming off the Eaton fire, and some residents told us the city of Sierra Madre isn't doing enough to protect the community up here. We walked up Yucca Trail where we were shown a catch basin at the top that residents tell us they've been asking the city to clear out and maintain for months. Now, the residents who've been vocal about these concerns tell us they're being ignored, that the basin is full and someone needs to bring up a backhoe and remove the debris collected from previous storms. And until they do, these residents believe they're at risk of another catastrophic debris flow.
We had the same situation in 2008, and we had it in February of this year. What happens when that reaches overcapacity and the mud continues, we get mud flow. It comes down Yucca Trail, makes a left, goes downhill, down Woodland. Remove the debris behind the timber and post structure and maintain it. Put it on an annual, biannual, whatever it takes, maintenance program to make sure this never happens again.
And we do have a call into the mayor's office for a response. Meantime, from this map, you can see burn zones from the Eaton fire are in a phase 1 evacuation warning. That went into effect last night. But starting tonight at 8 o'clock, those warnings will transition to evacuation orders. That is when this area is supposed to see some of the heaviest rains. But back here live again, as we can see some of the water flowing here. For now, it's clear, it's calm, and the residents we spoke to are hoping that things will stay this way. But again, they are prepared. Just up the road, there's a lot of sandbags, there's K-rails. People know what to do during these conditions, but again, they're just hoping that all this rain passes with no problems. We'll have more throughout the evening. For now, back to you in Hollywood.
And we're hoping for the best, Sarah. Thank you. In Ventura County, people near the mountain fire burn scar have been told to prepare to evacuate in case of flash flooding and mud and debris flow. An evacuation warning is in effect for those vulnerable areas through Sunday evening, along with the Matalia Canyon north of Fork area. Along the coast, a high surf advisory has been issued through tomorrow morning, with the public urged to stay out of the water due to dangerous waves and rip currents.
And stay with KTLA 5 for live continuing coverage of the storm. To track the latest conditions and check the hourly forecast in your neighborhood, just head to KTLA.com and click on the weather tab.
The Federal Aviation Administration says it is taking the first steps to restore commercial flights that were cut during the government shutdown. The mandatory 6% flight cuts are being downgraded to 3%. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says these restrictions will remain in place until staffing fully stabilizes and safety metrics improve. The cuts affected thousands of flights at 40 major U.S. airports, including LAX and Ontario.
And we've got more coming up on the news at 4.
David Lazarus joins us live. Hey, Laz.
Hey there, guys. President Trump said